It was what a lot of well-meaning and government-friendly citizens and residents would call an unforgettable evening for residents of the state when the Arise Happy Hour took center stage yesterday, an event where Governor Umoino rewarded Akwa Ibom indigents that have shown distinction in their various endeavors. Well, we can report that the event tagged an evening of grants and empowerment held at the amphitheater Uyo witnessed 25 million naira being awarded to 50 winners of the Arise Home Farms contest, with 300 million naira grants to 400 female youths under the Entrepreneurship Accelerator program. We understand also that each of them went home with 750,000 naira empowerment. Others, of course, were 20 million naira prize money to winners of the 2023 Governors' Cup tournament, 155 million naira prize money to 31 local government areas that participated in the 2024 Christmas Unplugged cultural display competition, and 32 million naira to 32 outstanding civil servants. We can also report there were on-the-spot car gifts as well. But the event, of course, was spiced up with musical performances featuring local talents and a high-point music performance by Nigeria's high-life heavyweight Flavor. Well, amidst all these, the consciousness of the Umoino administration in rewarding excellence seems to be the focal point here. But how many people are on the same page with the Arise Happy Hour initiative? Are there methods? Are there issues of transparency? And how people-centric are they? Is it a white elephant project, as some have dubbed it? The Senior Special Assistant to Governor Umoino on Research and Documentation, Dr. Essien Ndueso, joins us live on the program. Dr. Ndueso, you're welcome on Niger Delta today. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here again.
Thank you for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you.
Well, Governor Umoino's Arise Happy Hour event has received widespread attention for its impressive show of commitment to, giving back to the citizens and making them feel more connected to government, and also understanding that they matter in the scheme of things of the administration. But then let's look at what this happy hour and the event held yesterday hopes to achieve on the long run.
Simple. The governor is living his talk. He's walking the talk. And what we saw yesterday was another instance where the governor came out in full swing to show the people of Akwa Ibom State that he is a promise-keeping governor. He's a governor who is not just leading, but is also inspiring, motivating, and propelling the people of Akwa Ibom State to rise up, keen to his program for the state and make people happy and rewarded. In fact, as a matter of fact, not just do the people get benefits or inspiration, they also have that sense of belonging. I mean, where else in this country do you have civil servants who didn't campaign? There was no competition. They were just doing the normal work. And at the end of the year, the governor now said, okay, let all the commissioners and heads of government agencies and parastatals come and give an account of the stewardship or of achievements of the government through their respective MDAs. And what happened? He said, at the end of the presentation, can you people give us one person who will stand out in your departments or in your ministry? And that was what happened. When even those who put up those names, they never even knew what was to be expected. Normally you go to places and see some of the months and all of those kind of stuffs, but nothing really comes out as incentive. So those who were nominated did not even know that being mentioned as the staff of the year in each of the ministry was going to come with such a prize as we saw yesterday. And even those who nominated them did not know. And so those were purely acts of merit. But now, imagine civil servants now in the state, knowing that people are watching, knowing that they will be assessed, they are being assessed and they are being rated. Imagine the extra effort they will put in to ensure that they stand out among the rest. That is one positive attribute of that action. But beyond that is the fact that we are now seeing that in Akwa Ibom State, unlike other places where people are even saying that civil service should be scrapped, that they're not doing anything, they don't really do much, you can see that civil servants in Akwa Ibom State are being propelled to key actively into the Arise agenda of Governor Umoino. So that's one of the positives from that. Then beside that, the fact that the governor is showing people that his name was not by chance. His name means gift.
Gift.
Enough. And that is exactly what it stands for. From the first day at Zoom office, he's been giving and giving and giving. And yesterday, despite the fact that there were targets for of beneficiaries, but so many other people still got benefits yesterday. Look at the start of the month, or start of the year, from the SSG's office, a driver. And when he was being given his prize money, they said, oh, this is a man that usually goes, bring all of the cars. He's the one that goes to the airport to bring all of the guests. He's the one that brings brand new vehicles and distribute to different government departments. And the governor sat down and sent the message immediately that that person should also have a brand new car. That was the kind of surprises, positive surprises that we saw yesterday. And then there was this lady who was just doing her job. She was paid to do that job as a disc jockey yesterday, DJ. And the governor sat down and cited her from where he sat and asked questions about her. And the next thing he did was to reward her with 2 million naira cash. And so those are things. And when the governor is doing these things, he does not just inspire, he also instill in us the value of rewarding, of motivating people who we see around us.
Well, a lot of quarters are questioning the methodologies of Pastor Omoino and the reward system. They feel that it's wastage. How would you respond to that?
You see, if you want to listen to every cynical comment on issues, then you won't do anything at all. There's nothing, there's no policy, there's no project, there's no program ever instituted in Akwa Ibom State that's not met criticisms. There will always be criticism. For example, we had the 21-story building in Akwa Ibom State being built. And people say, what do we need it for? Who is going to be able to afford it? Why should we build it here when we know that we don't have much market for it in Akwa Ibom State? But the governor at that time said, we must build, let us also start. Let us also have those kind of environments where multinationals will not have excuses when they are demanded to come and reside here and do business.
But it might seem as
though... People very precise. But then, the governor of Akwa Ibom said, now, Pastor Moeno, went to Lagos, a highbrow economic net center of the continent, to go build a high-rise building. And people still criticize, why are you taking to Lagos? Why don't you bring it to Akwa Ibom State? The same mouth that they use in criticizing that building in Akwa Ibom State, they use it to criticize it outside Akwa Ibom State. So it means people will criticize. So if you want to follow that kind of thing, then you ain't going to do anything at all. Let's look at it this way. The methodology for selection is a transparent process. Those who were rewarded yesterday for emerging tops in the home garden scheme of the governor. The governor made gave a directive on, I think on 23rd of December last year, and asked that if you've adhered, if you've adhered to his clearing call to embrace home gardens, because for the governor is so is so unpalatable that in a state that has such rich natural habitat, people are not cultivating vegetables. He said even if it means using baskets, using papers, using bags around your surrounding, plant pepper, vegetables, and stuff like that. So you don't need to go to the market to buy pepper. You don't need to go and buy tomatoes at the market. You can buy those things around your neighborhood. And so people thought he was joking. The governor went as far. I remember when he went to flag off a project at Etinan, that links Etinan with the back. He called it a back road project. He told people, if you see an idle land around you, even jokingly, he said, go in and farm there. If the owner comes, tell him, I'm just planting, I'm not taking over your land. Tell him the governor said he should plant, to show how serious he was about urging people to go into farming. So in December, he now asked that those who have adhered to his clearing call should upload a 2-minute video, upload it on the portal, and let people assess. And who are those who assess this thing? The ICT department of the governor's office, headed by Engineer Frank Ekpenyong. They assess those videos, then send people from the Agri Ministry of the state extension workers, they go there to those locations as stated in the uploaded videos, and verify those farms, and then people are still sent there to go verify the report by the extension worker. So multiple checks are conducted, and in the end, those who are selected, their videos are also uploaded as well, so you can now see for yourself and see why they merited to be chosen as the best. I've had several people who call me and said, "Oh, sorry, doctor, I uploaded a video, and then some people came to look at my farm, and since then they have not called me again. Can you help? Can you help out?" I said, "I can't help out. I'm not an agri professional. Those who came to assess your farm have made a report. They have compared yours possibly with someone else's own and see that yours is not better than that, and so that's why you may not have been called. But if you truly qualified, then they will call you. In the first instance, did you invite them to come there? Did I need to talk to them? I don't even know who they are that they came to your farm. So it was purely a case of merit. And that is the same thing with the other, the civil servants. It's the same thing with those who won the football tournament. It was between Ikorobasi and the local government area. And Ikorobasi defeated Oyo on penalties, 4-3. And they're the ones giving the prize money of 10 million naira. Initially it was 5 million naira, but yesterday the governor said, "Oh, in the spirit of the happy hour moment, let's double it to 10 million naira."
All right, Dr. Ndueso, let's look at how often are we going to be having this activity. Is it a once in a year thing? How often are we going to having happy hour in Akwa Ibom State?
Happy hour, yesterday people were saying, "Oh, the happy hour has begun." Happy hour did not begin yesterday. Actually, we've had several instances where the governor called people and celebrated them. For example, in December, we had the elderly. The governor chose a day. He didn't just say, "Okay, is it for the elderly? Okay. Go and celebrate." He went out, stayed with them, got musicians, the likes of Wilka, the likes of even bringing in the legendary what's this man's name now?
Bongo
where you know the name. And when he was in his element. So these people came, started out, the governor was there dancing and celebrating with the elderly. And so on. But beyond that, we still have those other programs where he gives out 50,000 naira a month to elderlies, and then we still have the young people who is selected from the portals, and those are randomly selected as well. 5,000 a month, all of them given 50,000 naira each. And so far, the month of October, November, December has been paid, and then we are still going to continue like that. And those people did not apply in that portal for 50,000 naira. They only applied, uploaded their CVs as unemployed youth in Akwa Ibom State, pending where opportunities will emanate in the state, so that they can easily get selected for those jobs. And the governor said, "Okay, while waiting, let me still support you with some of this money." So these freebies are ongoing. And beyond that is the fact that in the next couple of weeks, we are still going to have another event the governor calls a night with stars. So it's not going to be a yearly thing. The night is, who are the stars in this case? Some Nigerians, some Akwa Ibom people have excelled in their various disciplines. We've had those who have come out tops in the West African School Examination. There are those who have come out tops in debate competitions. There are those who have come out tops in spelling bee. There are those who have crashed the Guinness World Record. All those categories of people are going to be
happy hours
and then celebrated in another round of happy hours. So there are several, and this governor is just showing that he's out there for everybody.
All right, Dr. Ndueso, well, there's another angle to this. We know that it's a select people that are benefiting from what happened yesterday. Now, look at the broader spectrum. How does the government intend to ensure that it reaches out to persons who do not have access to these empowerments, as the case may be? To what extent can the government say that it is working towards ensuring that persons that are unable to understand how to go about reaching out for grants of this nature can do so? Because there are people who ask questions on social media. How do I get information on this or that? How do you reach out to people like that?
When you're even answering the question in the question itself, people come to you on the social media to ask you how to access the grant, and the government is even making it easier by making this application on the social media. As a matter of fact, that is why the governor appointed 54 aides. And he has a commissioner for information, he has the media consultant, he has the chief press secretary, he has a honorary special advisor of media and communication. All of these are channels through which people in Akwa Ibom State will be able to have access to information. Beyond that is the fact that the governor has also appointed 368 aides, personal aides, residing in the different wards across the state. All of the wards And these people were not chosen by the governor. They were chosen by people in the respective, wards, and given to the governor and said, these are the people we want to represent us, and those people reside there. They don't reside in you. And as a matter of fact, it's a criterion that you must reside within the community. And so those people have unfettered access to these personal aids of the governor, and those personal aids of the governor have been armed with a one-stop digital device where they can easily pass information to the governor of Akwa Ibom State. So there is no ambiguity in the fact that people have unfettered access to these platforms. And what is the governor doing? He's making sure that beyond those who have white collar, in fact, he's making it even more attractive to be entrepreneurs in Akwa Ibom State. Yesterday, among those who were rewarded were 400 ladies who were selected, trained, and then empowered with 750,000 naira. Now, yesterday, the governor announced again that another batch of 500 women will still be selected again shortly, and trained and further empowered. That is what the government is doing.
Sorry, Doctor. There are allegations that some of these numbers that the government says it has empowered, there may be disparities as regards the number of people that are actually empowered compared to the number that were officially released or said to have been empowered. Is there any truth to that?
No. The names of those who are empowered, like yesterday, we had a brochure that contained the names of all of those people. And it is simple.
So it can be fact-checked.
And let me also tell you something about Governor Moino. The transparency is second to none. What did he say? Once you are empowered on entrepreneurial development, your shop must be set up, and the government will still go ahead and paint it with a rice color. So people around you will know that that is one of the beneficiaries of government. So when they go to you and try, apply to also get trained by you, you would use that opportunity and then become a trainer yourself.
Also a way of blowing the government's trumpet.
Yes, because I think even in the Bible, it was Jesus Christ who, after healing, told the person he healed, go and tell what I've done, what you've seen, what has come of you. And if God could give that kind of example, I mean, why not those of us who are modeled after God the Creator himself? So I think it's also good. And another thing is, it's not necessarily to blow the trumpet alone, but to also show that this government is accountable. If you're telling people that you have empowered 700, you have empowered 400 people with 750,000 naira, amounting to 300 million naira. People want to know who are these people, where are they located. So you have to publish where they are and let people verify and know that this government is not doing anything LGBT.
All right, Doctor. The winners of the Christmas Unplugged were equally rewarded yesterday night. To what extent will it set the tone for this year's Christmas celebration?
As we speak right now, yesterday we had the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, Deaconess Grace Akpan, coming out to give some of those criteria that we used in assessing the performances of the respective local government areas. And some of us were not even aware that as minute a thing as the pot used in cooking was also of cognizance, taken to cognizance. So this year, people will come out more prepared. People now are sure that by December, Christmas Unplugged will come. Yesterday, the governor, as usual, in his benevolence, decided that everybody must be a winner. And each local government area went on with 5 million naira. This year, obviously, now that the criteria, and now that everyone is sure, no one is going to be taken by surprise again. They have enough time to plan ahead. The distinctive cultural values and artifacts in your locality will come to play, and people will come, and you're going to have a much more better and colorful. And now you have that amphitheater gradually coming out the way the governor wanted it to be. You have the perimeter fence now, you have the area being lighted, you have the walkways more established, and then those are pertinences that you need to have in a standard facility of that nature that will contain a large crowd are being installed in that place. So people will come out and have a much more better and exhilarating effect in that amphitheater come this December.
Dr. Ndueso, there is an issue on ground, and the issue is another allegation.
There are so many issues everywhere.
It is believed in some quarters that the event yesterday was probably a way of removing people's attention or distracting people from the conversation that has been on ground for a very long time now, at least since the council was dissolved. Is there any correlation to the events yesterday and the governor trying to sort of take away attention from the calls for him to release his commissioners list?
I don't understand why that should be a rationale. I mean, the people were even complaining that it's taking too long for the reward to be affected on those beneficiaries. For example, the female youths, they finished the training, I think in October or thereabouts last year. And people, there were so many calls that, oh, these people, having been trained, have not yet received their benefits. There were the calls on, you know, the local government areas that participated in the event of the Christmas Unplugged. Did not reward because the governor did promise. And I remember that he made a promise while commissioning the sanitation equipment at the Akwa Ibom State, you know, rural sanitation agency. And he had promised that the best local government areas will be given specific prizes. So people also made those calls. So why can't you now say that the governor was responding to those calls to organize that event? Why do you feel that it's better to yield to the call that he's trying to cover up? I mean, what okay, now, has that event now precluded the fact that the commissioners have not yet been announced by the House of Assembly?
Well, in a way of diverting the conversation.
So there's nothing to divert there. I mean, it's just like someone
get Akwa Ibom to talk about something else.
Right, let us look at the relationship between the happy hour and the state tourism sector, because Governor Moino is very interested in tourism. Let's look at the relationship between the happy hour and the tourism sector.
Yes, the governor is very upbeat in his determination to ensure that tourism becomes a major revenue earner in Akwa Ibom State. As we speak right now, you're aware that so many people now troop in droves to the Arise Park along Dominic Avenue, because right there in that once erosion ravaged part of Akwa Ibom State is bringing up a modern one-stop hospitality, leisure, and family resorts that will be about the best in the country, and that itself is an indication of how serious Governor Moino is about tourism. Yes, the event yesterday, several elements of tourism were highlighted. For example, the Christmas Unplugged, the fact that our local artists were encouraged in music. That was also happened there, and so many things. So I'm telling you that so many people are now coming to terms with the reality that beyond entrepreneurship, Governor Moino is investing seriously. Those who never knew that Christmas park had gotten to that stage, when they went there yesterday, you know, normally what we used to have in Akwa Ibom was that after the Christmas festivity, after the Christmas carols and so on, everything about that arena will dismantle, and you won't have the, you know, those appurtenances there again. But 2 months after Christmas, people see when they saw that rather than those facilities being dismantled, they are even being built upon the more. So people are now happy that here in Akwa Ibom State, tourism is a focal point of the Arise agenda under Governor Moino.
Like Dr. Ndueso is saying, we're going to round it now, but then just as your parting shot, let's look at the level of collaboration that the state government looks at ensuring that it has to be able to execute its lofty programs that it has. So surely it cannot do it alone. There must be commitment from all facets of society. And indeed, to what extent would you say that these events have drawn the much needed collaboration to the state? And how far reaching would this be in the long run?
Yeah, as we speak right now, you see that the governor, who is maintaining an all inclusivity in his governance, is keeping his doors ajar for everybody willing to collaborate. And it doesn't also, like I said earlier, do these things and then have them cover under the mat somewhere. he exposes them and make people see and feel and believe that yes, there are potentials in Akwa Ibom State for collaborations. Just last week, we've had a couple of people that have come to this state. For example, we had a delegation from the French embassy that came into the state, and the governor did get them go around the state, look at areas they can collaborate in terms of his rural development, in terms of his rural healthcare delivery, and of course education. And those people were impressed, and I can tell you, that's just a precursor to what we are expecting in the state. And when you have a governor who is so peaceful, and like the Bible said, you see a man whose ways please the Lord, it makes even his enemies to be at peace with him. So when the governor is embracing peace, is championing peace, it's championing unity, it's easy and quite seamless for people to come in and yield to his clarion call, collaborate with him, and get things done. That's what we are having in the states, and that's why it's almost like Akwa Ibom State is a one-party state where you don't even know who is a member of Party A or Party B. Everybody just believes that Akwa Ibom State is under one leader, Governor Umar Eno, and they are willing to support, except those who still feel that their own line of business, which is possibly political blackmails. Those are the only ones who are not happy with the steady progress we are recording now. And those are the ones you see once in a while going on to chip in some of these blackmails and allegations on the social media, just because they want to find a way of making a meal or making a business for themselves.
All right,
but unfortunately, it's not working.
Well, Dr. Essien Ndueso, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Research and Documentation, we must thank you for making our time to feature on Niger Delta today. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you for coming.